Hi everyone, I'm Courtney. Today we're going to take a look at my Spotify Wrapped for 2025. Spotify is a music subscription service where you can stream music on your phone. And today, Spotify Wrapped Day, is a day where they release information to you about what you've listened to throughout the year. Spotify Wrapped generally takes place sometime between November 29th and December 5th. And today is December 3rd. So it's time to see what I've been listening to all year. This is genuinely one of my favorite days of the entire year. If I was the president, I would make this a federal holiday. Okay, let's dive in to my Spotify Wrapped. Also, if you want to listen to any of this music after you get done watching this video, I'm going to leave a link to my Spotify playlist for 2025. So the link will be down below. First, it's asking me to take a look at some of the highlights of my year. So New Year's Day, January 1st, is the day you rang in the year with a techno blitz and a folk fade out. So I started off January 1st with a lot of upbeat music, and then in the evening, I listened to more chill, instrumental type music. Okay, my biggest music listening day was January 18th. So I listened to the most music on January 18th. 359 minutes of music on that day. I think I was coming back from vacation in Mexico on January 18th. So I think I was listening to a lot of music in the airport. My biggest Dora Jar day was April 18th. Dora Jar is my favorite artist of all time. And I apparently listened to the most music from her on April 18th. I listened to her music for 66 minutes. Repeat Heavy Day was on June 18th. And that means that I listened to a song a lot on June 18th. The song was The Explorer by Dora Jar, repeated more than 20 times. Wow, I love to repeat songs. If I love a song, I will listen to it on repeat. And my most diverse day was on September 24th. On September 24th, I listened to 312 minutes of music, or 103 songs. Sometimes people will call songs tracks. So I listened to 103 tracks. This day, September 24th, was the day that I was at a rock climbing competition. I was at a 24-hour rock climbing competition. And so I had music on a speaker because I needed to keep my motivation going for the full 24 hours. It says, you listened, we counted. I listened to 22,591 minutes of music this year. That's actually really low. That number is actually really low compared to previous years. Usually I listen to about 40 to 50,000 minutes of music during the year. But this year I was learning Spanish, and so I was listening to Spanish. Actually, it's funny because this year I've listened to 26,000 minutes of Spanish. I listened to more Spanish than I did music this year. Okay, it's saying taste like yours can't be defined, but let's try anyway. I listened to 519 different genres. A genre is a type of music. For example, pop, rock, country, reggaeton. These are all different genres of music, and I listened to 519 different genres. My top 5 genres were, in first place, indie pop. Indie pop is pop, but it's not as popular as some of the other pop songs. It's more independent. It's smaller artists that are still considered pop. In second place, I listened to house music. House music is music that you can dance to. House music is also called electronic music, but house music has a little bit more energy to it. And house music generally has a beat like Okay, number 3. In third place, I have Urbano Latino, which is, I'm assuming, urban Latino music. So this is all the music that I've been listening to that my friends have sent me from Costa Rica, from Argentina, from Colombia, and then from any other recommendations I've gotten from videos. In fourth place, I have classical piano. And so classical piano music is soft music that's instrumental. There's no voice in this type of music. And classical piano is songs where people are playing piano, or maybe there's violin or other instruments in the background, but the main instrument is the piano. And I listen to classical music. I listen to classical piano music when I'm trying to study or when I'm trying to focus on work, or when my brain just feels tired and I want a break from listening to things that are more upbeat. And then my 5th genre that I listened to was rap. So rap is a genre where they're not really singing the lyrics to a melody so much as they are saying words. And they're usually saying the words quickly. And they're saying the words with what's called a flow. So the way they say the words sounds like they connect them together a little bit more than just talking. All right, let's find out what's next. Age is just a number, so don't take this personally. Okay, it's going to give me my Spotify listening age. And my Spotify listening age is 21. So it's saying that I was into music from the early 2020s. So that means that compared to all the other types of people and ages of people, I listen to music at the same age as 21-year-olds, which is interesting. I'm 29, so I guess I have a younger music taste than I thought. Okay, I listened to 3,939 songs this year, and it's asking me, can you guess your number 1? And I already looked at this, so I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to pretend that I don't know. But when I originally looked at this, I couldn't guess my number 1. Okay, so my top songs for the year were, in first place, The Explorer by Dora Jar. This song is a soft song, but it has exciting, upbeat parts. It's a song by my favorite artist about love and adventure. And I love the way that the music swells when she's building up to the important parts in the chorus. There's a video on Instagram of her playing this song acoustically. So when someone plays something acoustically, it means that they're playing it just with raw instruments, just with the instruments and their voice. They're not playing it with any electronic sounds or the song in the background added. They're playing it acoustically. There's a video of her playing this song acoustically in a tunnel, and she's walking and playing the song on her guitar, and you can hear it echo inside the tunnel. And it's a video that makes me so happy. Okay, second is a song called Authenticity by brunch.wave. This song is just like a nice little house groove, just a house groove. It has a few lyrics, but the lyrics don't really say anything. The lyrics aren't really the important part of the song. I heard Authenticity in a YouTube video. I heard Authenticity as the soundtrack in a YouTube video for one of my favorite YouTubers. I'll leave a link to his channel down below because it's definitely worth checking out. His name is Ali Gallup, and I heard Authenticity in one of his videos. The next song, the song in third place, is a song called Psychic City by Yacht and Classics. This song is a great song to dance to. It has a bop to it, has a little bop to it, and it has a little bit of disco vibes. It has an electronic type sound, but the singer is a woman, and she's kind of shouting the lyrics. She's shouting the lyrics a little bit. The song has lyrics about talking to different objects around her house. The song has lyrics about talking to her kitchen. The song has lyrics about having a party. The song is a fun, upbeat song. The song Psychic City always reminds me of my best friend because we always dance to it at her house. My best friend and I go running, and after we get done running, we dance to Psychic City. In fourth place is a song called Lucky by Dora Jar. I love the song Lucky. The song Lucky is about a relationship. It's about a relationship where there was a fight. But after the fight and after some reflection, the singer of the song realizes that she's lucky to have her partner. She realizes that their relationship is a lucky thing to have. She realizes that the small things they were fighting about aren't important. She realizes that she feels lucky. I think this is a great song. I've been married for 9 years, and I feel very lucky to have my current partner. I feel very lucky to be in the relationship that I'm in. And so I really like the way that lucky reminds me that to have my relationship is a beautiful thing. Okay, in fifth place, we have Lose My Cool by Amber Mark and Frank Moody. This song is also a little bit of a dancing song. It's a little bit of a bop. It's about a woman that is fed up with everyone, and she's about to lose her cool. To lose your cool means to be angry, to be fed up, to be done. But the song isn't angry sounding. The song is a song that is good to dance to when you feel overwhelmed. All right, let's see what's next. You listened to 11 albums this year. I don't really listen to a lot of albums. I usually just listen to different songs off the albums. I don't listen to albums in their entirety. Usually I don't. But my top album was No Way to Relax When You're on Fire by Dora Jar. This album came out this year, and so that's why I listened to it the most. Okay, these are my top albums. You streamed 1,841 minutes of podcasts. I have been listening to a lot of Spanish, like I said before, so I haven't really listened to a lot of podcasts. I'm not a huge podcast person, but let's see what my top podcast for the year was. Okay, and my top podcast for the year was Immersive Spanish. I listened to 598 minutes of immersive Spanish, which is actually way more than I anticipated. Immersive Spanish is a Spanish learning podcast, and most of it is in English, but it explains different Spanish words. And I really liked their episode, or their series of episodes about finding hidden treasure in a lake. So if you're learning Spanish, I recommend looking for the episode of Immersive Spanish about the hidden treasure in a lake. Okay, yeah, so all of my top podcasts were Spanish learning podcasts. In first place, I have Immersive Spanish. In second place, there's the Duolingo Spanish podcast. In third place, I have Cuéntame, Learn Spanish, which is also another excellent podcast for beginners. And then I tried to listen to a little bit of a climbing podcast in Spanish, but I remember I couldn't understand anything. So I actually need to go back and listen to that again. Once again, I don't listen to a lot of audiobooks, but the one audiobook that I did listen to is Short Stories in Spanish. And I'm sure some of you that are listening also have the version of this book called Short Stories in English. And so if you have Short Stories in English by Ollie Richards, you can use Spotify to listen to the audio while you're reading the book, if you didn't know that. Okay, so now it's telling me things about my top artists, and it's showing me which artists I listen to the most. You probably already know, but I think my top artist will be Dora Jar, and then I'm not sure. I don't know. So yeah, Dora Jar is my top artist for the year, and I spent 635 minutes listening to her music. So my top 5 artists are, in first place, Dora Jar. In second place, Ruskowski, I think is how you say his name. This was an artist recommendation from one of my friends, and I really liked some of his songs, and so I played them on repeat a lot. He had a new album, I can't remember the name of the album, but it was yellow and it had a picture of a gorilla on the front of it. And I listened to a lot of songs on there. It was like half Spanish and half English. Number three was Latin Mafia. This is a recommendation from my friend from Costa Rica, and I think out of all the music in Spanish that I've listened to so far, Latin Mafia is my favorite artist, my favorite Latin American artist for sure. I really like their song Siento que merezco más. I think you deserve more. It's really awesome. In that song, there's a filter over the lyrics, so it makes it hard to understand for me, but I still love that song. So Fred Again is in fourth place. Fred Again is an artist that is like an electronic or house type of vibe, and he makes a lot of music with crazy electronic sounds, and I found his music this past year. I can't remember who showed me the artist Fred Again. I think it was one of my coworkers that said that they really love him, and I guess that I love him too. He has a song that's called Places to Be, and I think that's one of my favorite songs from Fred Again. And then in fifth place, we have Brunch.wave. I only really listened to 2 songs from Brunch.wave, and one was Authenticity that I talked about earlier, and then there was another song that was fairly similar, and I just listened to those songs on repeat so many times that apparently now that artist is my 5th top artist for the year. Okay. And that's my Spotify Wrapped for 2025. I hope that you enjoyed listening to all the songs that I played and listened to this year. And I would love to know, seriously, please write your top songs and your top artists in the comments because I want to listen to them. And don't worry if you think it's weird. I listen to music from all sorts of genres. Remember, 519 different genres. So please share your music with me. I can't wait to hear what you guys are listening to. Awesome. Well, if you liked this video, remember there are more videos just like this on EnglishSponge.com, and I'll see you later. Bye.